Hello and welcome to the review of Kengan Omega, Chapter 207, The Seven Nikos. We see the seven Nikos on the title spread. Present-day Goah Mukaku explains there are seven who took the name Tokita Niko. They called each other numbers. Cutting to the past, in a flashback, he explains to the seven that the inside is big, impossible for one person to take over themselves. That's why Goah needed numbers on his side. He wanted the seven Nikos to run amok in the inside and make the name Tokita Niko famous. Their villainy will become a single legend. They are shocked. Goah wants them to do bad things. One exclaims that he says the craziest things. Ohma's Niko designated 4 says it sounds fun. Another Niko says, "Are you taking a page out of Yamato Takeru's book?" The legend of Yamato Takeru tells the story of a Japanese prince from the Yamato dynasty who was known for his martial skills and bravery. However, his violent temperament and ambition led to his downfall, as he betrayed and killed his allies, including his own brother, and even blasphemed local gods. Despite his questionable actions, Yamato Takeru is still remembered as a legendary figure in Japanese folklore, representing the virtues of strength, courage, and honor, as well as the dangers of arrogance and treachery. His story has been passed down through various traditional sources, including the Kojiki and the Nihon Shoki. Today, he is commemorated in various ways, such as through statues and shrines, and his name lives on in the legend of Mie Prefecture's origin. Goah explains he wants to destroy the inside, created by the worm. Cutting back to the present, Koga is surprised at this revelation, but Goah tells him to shut up and let him finish his story. In the present, Tokita Ohma explains that the inside is similar to a goo chamber. A goo chamber is a concept that involves placing multiple poisonous insects in a chamber to see which one emerges as the strongest with the most potent poison. In the context of humans, a goo chamber is where individuals are confined and forced to fight until the strongest emerges victorious. This technique was utilized on 2 of the strongest fighters we've seen, the jobber Lu Tian and the goat, Kano Agito. The inside resembles a large-scale human goo chamber. The worm took advantage of the fall of the shogunate. The shogunate was a form of military government that ruled Japan from 1192 to 1868. It was established by Minamoto no Yoritomo, who was appointed as the first shogun by Emperor Go-Toba in 1192. The shogunate was characterized by the dominance of the samurai class, who served as the ruling military caste. During the Tokugawa shogunate, 1603 to 1868, Japan was ruled by a series of shoguns from the Tokugawa family. The Tokugawa shoguns were able to establish a long period of stability and peace known as the Edo period by enforcing strict social and political control over the population. The shogunate also pursued a policy of sakoku, or closed country, which limited foreign trade and contact with the outside world. However, by the mid-19th century, Japan was facing pressure from foreign powers to open its borders and engage in international trade. The shogunate was unable to effectively respond to this challenge, which led to growing unrest and dissatisfaction among the population. In 1868, a group of samurai from the domains of Satsuma, Choshu, and Tosa launched a rebellion against the shogunate. Known as the Meiji Restoration, this event led to the overthrow of the shogunate and the restoration of power to the emperor. The new government abolished the feudal system and implemented a series of reforms aimed at modernizing and industrializing Japan. This marked the beginning of the Meiji period, which saw Japan transform from a feudal society into a modern nation-state. The worm took advantage of this to set their test site there. They brought together the surviving soldiers of the shogunate and other social rejects, and incited them to start killing one another. Goah says the inside is one massive goo chamber, a shocking revelation. Goah sent the Nikos all over the inside, and not before long, everyone knew the name Tokita Niko. We cut back to the past, to 2 Nikos sparring, 2 and 6, using the Niko style. 6 comes out victorious, breaking through 2's indestructible. Indestructible allows the user to either defend from powerful blows or attack the opponent with immense power through instantaneously clenching all of their muscles at the moment of impact. Tensing and tightening of the muscles increases the solidity and density of the user's body. thus preventing the impact of outside attacks from inflicting much, if any, damage. This gives the technique massive defensive and offensive power. 6 shortened the lag when chaining Flashing Steel Smash, a punch. Flashing Steel is a combination of Raging Fire and Indestructible. Flashing Steel is the fastest attack of the Nico style. It involves charging the opponent at a high speed and delivering a blow with tightened muscles. The momentum and hardness interact to make for a devastating blow. It's best used as a counter, utilizing both the opponent's and the user's momentum to maximize inflicted damage. However, despite its speed, its linearity makes it predictable. He would chain this to Flashing Steel Blast, a blow with the elbow. 6 started moving into Blast before he'd landed Smash. The lack of a running start makes it a little less powerful, but the point is that you don't give your opponent the chance to right themselves, throwing themselves off balance. 6 gloats that Adamantine Kata's master finally lost. 2, with a scowl, says he didn't lose. Another Nico says sarcastically that it'll be okay, and 2 exclaims, he didn't lose. Tokita Ohma's Nico challenges 5 to a duel. Goah explains that the 2 used to be more or less the same as kids, but that they've both developed their own unique strengths. Those 2, Tokita Ohma's Nico, designated 4 and 5, have pulled ahead of the pack. He explains 3's perfected balance between the 4 katas. 2's specialized in adamantine and redirection. 6 notices things that the others don't, and 1 has the most basic strength. 7, he explains, is the big disappointment, but has the most talent out of all of them. He is easily number 1 in terms in latent ability. There is a hierarchy shown, along with the assigned wards of the inside that each Nico is assigned to. We see that 7 is low, but has the potential to become much higher. Goah then gathers the 7 Nikos around and says they're ready to move on to the next stage, and that they're going on a field trip. All the Nikos are confused, and Goah explains that the Nico style is incomplete, him and a friend coming up with it from scratch. His friend is Shimochi Kazufumi. Shimochi Kazufumi is the master of Kuroki Gensai, undoubtedly one of the strongest characters in the entire series. Goah then says that he had perfected the secret technique of the Nico style. They are leaving the inside to go to Gakigahara Forest, where he will teach them the technique. This technique is surely Demon's Bane, where in the original series, Nico brought Ohma to Gakigahara Forest and explained that Ohma had to land a single hit on him while wearing weights on his wrists and ankles. Nico stated that he won't be holding back, with the first session ending with Ohma getting badly beaten. After the fight, Nico gave him a break, with Ohma believing he can rest until sunrise. Nico's sudden return dashed this idea away as he attacked his surprised pupil. For 10 days, the cycle repeated, with Ohma gradually weakening and having to live off the environment. Ohma eventually realized why he was wearing the weights to fight Nico, and with that knowledge, he finally managed to land a hit on his master. Nico congratulated him and prepared to take him on a final trial, taking off both his coat and weights. With Ohma in a dire physical condition, he was able to achieve absolute focus, helping him counter Nico's techniques and avoid dangerous environmental occurrences. Through this focus, Ohma finally realized the essence of the Nico style's ultimate secret technique, Demon's Bane. Despite the ordeal, Ohma claimed he never hated his master for beating him so badly. Goah explains that once they've mastered it, they will be stronger by leaps and bounds, and it won't be long before the inside is theirs. Goah then says that what he didn't know is that there is a devil among the 7 of them. Another exciting chapter: which one of the Nikos is the demon? Leave your answer below. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.